everybody. So, I know I didn't put up a review last night, and I just got done watching it. I really wasn't feeling good last night, and I knew I needed to get up and go to work today. So that's why you're getting this late. But I'm glad I didn't try to force myself to stay up to do it because this shit was whack as hell. If you are watching this video, please be sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel. If you haven't, as I still try to work to get my channel to grow. And thank you for everybody who has, liked the video, subscribed, shared. Yeah, so let's get into it. This is another review of Real Housewives of Potomac, season 8, episode 10. Friendship is a mother. How do you have a filler episode for a season that has been so unfulfilling? It's those kinds of things that really I just can't get it. I can't make it make sense. I really can't. Okay, so Karen and her daughter go to get tattoos with little G for her mother and then the girl's grandmother, Georgia, right? Cute. I love how Karen told her daughter in a confessional when she was like, I'm gonna slow down eventually. She was like, no, you're in your 20s. You don't have to slow down. She was right. Like, you're right. I'm gonna do this time 85. I like her daughter's spirit. She seems like a really nice young lady doing her thing, and I think that's great. So it was cute. Anyway, then we get Candace. She plans an event to celebrate all of their mothers, and she's talking about how all of them have a close relationship with their mother, this, that, and the other. And I'm just like, yeah, your relationship with your mother is also toxic and dysfunctional. But maybe, if you just dig a little deeper in therapy, maybe you will learn that that's probably why you're going behind Giselle, well, at least Robin's ass, and kissing it. Anyway, Candace plans an event for the mothers with her nosy ass controlling mother. Why is her mother asking her about Giselle and Robin? Why? You know what she did, said, accused Chris of? Now, granted, your mother always got something snarky and smart to say about Chris, but there should be a line somewhere, especially in terms of family. And this is why I feel like Candace is full of shit when it comes to that colorism stuff. I don't know. It can go either way with her mother, because I can't imagine it as I can't imagine, unfortunately, as a brown-skinned woman, and you feel like these light-skinned bitches are just doing this to your daughter because she's dark-skinned, or Candace, or at least that's what Candace says she thinks. Why would you even encourage that? The hell with her. Anyway, the event is such a reach. It's such a reach to create a scene. Like, these bitches have nothing to give. It's honestly, this group of women have run their course. Because this has probably been one of the most consistent casts in the Housewives. Not that I watch anybody other than Atlanta and Potomac. But it's been a consistent group. 8 seasons is enough. They can reboot this still with a new cast. They could actually do that. And the reason why they could do it is because even though Potomac has been pretty good for the most part, there's no Nene Leakes character where people are so attached, right, to these personalities, or people, it's not the same thing. It's just not. So Wendy is looking to start her own daytime talk show. Oh my gosh. I don't understand. Never mind. I am not impressed with Wendy. I think Wendy is full of shit somewhere. I think there are some real holes in her story. She still has her job at Johns Hopkins. Her first book was a story about her growing up in Nigeria, not about her dissertation. And maybe people who've never had a PhD, which is probably most people, don't know that typically your first book, if you're going to have one as a scholar, should be based on your dissertation. So what that tells me is that this is just something for her to try to hurry up and make money on, so on and so forth. So she was commentating and battling with that before. Now she's trying to do a talk show. Now she's, just all over. She wanted to have the bar and then it'd be a library and an after school program. Like, this bitch is so, I can't. I don't think she's smart. I think she's stupid. So anyway, the last producer she had sent over a contract, said she would get 50% of the project. And Wendy was like, no, so she fired her. Fine. She's looking for a new producer. She's clearly also looking for a cheap one. And I shouldn't say that about those people's work yet. But I mean, like, I can tell they're young, which means you don't have to pay them as much, usually, because they have less experience. Usually. That's why I'm gathering. Okay, I'm not trying to say about their skills. So she started saying a bunch of bullshit. Started talking about. Was I the only one confused as for a Korean laundromat and act like you in your cousin's house, and then you go to McDonald's and pick up some fries and then share them with your two twin boys, and then ride over a bunch of rubbish downtown in New York City and your tire get flat, but then you sit out there and you kick it with the hood girls while they smoke while they pregnant. What the fuck? Like, it was just wild shit. And they were looking at her, those young producers were looking at her the same way that last producer was. Like, they just look as confused because she doesn't really know what she wants. I think Wendy thinks because she's attained degrees, she accomplished those things, which are great, that then everything else she should want in life should just come. And Wendy does not have a lot of, I don't want to say she doesn't have personality, but she doesn't have that kind of personality. She just doesn't. She doesn't. Anyway, so we get Nneka and her sister. I'm gonna be honest, Nneka's not good for reality TV. That has nothing to do with her individually or her character as a person, but her personality. I just don't think it's entertaining for TV. I don't. Not to mention, she's coming into an already fraught cast that clearly has these little alliance groups and try to push people out. So she's already not, I don't know. Her and her sister look just alike. They were in that store looking for furniture, and they were drinking champagne. Did y'all notice those tags at the bottom of the glasses? But okay. I will say this, and I've said this about Nneka before, and I noticed this even with her sister. When they walked up and they were like, oh, you want champagne? First of all, people try to give you those things at bridal showers, when you go shopping for furniture, dresses, any of that. Because when you are inebriated to any degree with alcohol, your inhibitions go down. You are less likely to be as frugal or to stick to a budget. Those kind of things are designed that way, just so you know. So it really ain't no compliment. But the one thing I did notice when they came in off, like her sister was like, oh, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Both of them tend to be very polite and grateful. That's something I've noticed. Like I told you, even when like Karen invited her, Nneka was like really grateful over the phone. Like she was telling her, well, thank you so much for inviting me. I think that's actually a really nice way to be grateful to people that don't have to do those things. And I feel like, particularly on this cast, these people don't know how to just say thank you on all these casts, I guess. But, and when she talked about the way her father came from nothing and, walked with no shoes, whatever happened, like the way Wendy kind of carried on about her stuff, it sounds different to me with Nneka for some reason. And I think it's because it's clear that her parents made them learn to be grateful for what they had, even though they never had to go without it. It seems like there had to be a sense of like manners in their house. I personally appreciate that. Anyway, so Karen and Giselle's daughters meet up. I mean, it was cute, but this is what I mean by filler episode. So Raven was giving Grace some good college advice, and Raven is a very nice young lady. She really is. You can tell. She was raised right. Then they start giving us this Jack and Jill bullshit, which is what all of them do. It's a thing for black kids. Then you'll have another group of black mothers in the Jack and Jill bullshit stuff. Talk about some, well, it's a group for mothers, and this and the other. It is a group that protects black elites from having their black ass kids around other black children without the same things as they do. It's more about not being around certain kinds of black people than it is around being around certain kinds of black people. Okay? They want to let you know that they are different. They're not like the others. Okay? And they can go on with that bullshit until the police stop them or until something terrible happens. I don't believe in those kind of organizations. I don't think they're good for the community. I think they promote classism and elitism. And I'm not saying that at the time. I mean, we live in a capitalist society, so those kind of things are going to happen anyway. I'm not saying at the time people may not have had, to some degree, slightly different intentions. I mean, the classism was there. But the idea of people, when they're grown, mention how they were in Jack and Jill and how they were, but it's their way of signifying, because I saw this in graduate school, signifying to other black people that they belong to a group that you will never belong to, other black person. And I find it disgusting. Anyway, I don't care. Grace, I hope you go on and have a good time. All right. Giselle is like, how's she gonna cry? Giselle, we don't care. at this point because people don't have any compassion for you because you're such a bitch. So we had the Mother's Day brunch. Now the setup, Candace, the setup was absolutely beautiful. Beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Karen's dress was gorgeous. I actually thought it was Candace walking in. And it was so nice of her to still come, even though I know Mother's Day can be difficult for people when they've lost their mother. And certainly since her daughter had to go back. But I thought that was really nice of her to still support it. So there was a perfume bar. I don't know if it's that I don't like the idea of a perfume bar or if my mind immediately goes to, that seems like that costs too much. And so therefore it wouldn't be fun for me, but whatever. All right, so Candace calls Wendy conveniently as Naneka and her sister are walking up. Okay, she has a release on speakerphone. Anyway, she has a release of the paperback edition of her book. I was like, did anybody buy that? I mean, I know some people bought it, but I'm just saying, like, I don't remember that ranking on anything. And you and your mother? What the fuck? Anyway, so she said she thinks it's because of Naneka. Maybe. And Wendy's a lying ass bitch. And Wendy also didn't want no gang up. Because let me tell you something. I could kind of feel Naneka and her sister was going to get down to business. Okay? Because y'all done popped off on Naneka and everything else. So, anyway. So, overall, though, the brunch was whack as fuck. All right? Sharice, please don't ever again walk out the house at your age without a good bra on. Not having on a bra at your age is unacceptable. Especially when your breasts look like that. And it's fine, because that's normal for your age. But I just didn't understand why you had on no bra and your breasts at that. Like, I think it's tacky when women do that now. Like, even in, like, their 30s, when it's not, like, when you don't have a shaper or something on. I just don't, okay, don't do it again. So Mia and Sharice are talking. Sharice said Naneka and her both were at an event and they were talking to Jacqueline, Mia's old best friend. And she said she did not talk favorably about Mia. Sharice said she would have never done that. I was like, okay, bitch, you have definitely done that. We have seen you do things like that, okay? And my thing is, why the fuck do you need to tell me it is? You's a messy bitch trying to get camera time. And let me tell you something, Sharice, it is really fucking pathetic that you were actually supposed to be the nucleus for this show, and you bored everybody. Like, and it's like you've been begging to get back on this show since, like, what, season 3? Like, miss me. Just miss me. So Sharice asked Ashley about signing the divorce papers, and I don't care that she asked in front of a bunch of people. I don't feel shit for Ashley because she was all up in Sharice's face at their daughter's birthday party. Don't think I forgot. I don't know how many seasons ago. Trying to get her to talk to Eddie, knowing she was going through a divorce, knowing she was in a painful space. And it's cruel and it's mean. And Ashley, that white man got you so stressed out you got grays from here to here. I saw him at your roots, honey. Now, granted, some people they may gray early, but yours look like it could be helped. Anyway, you look stupid, bitch, and you deserve it. By the way, Sharice is the only one, because even though I don't like Sharice is the only one who seems to understand the appropriate color of foundation and concealer for her skin complexion. Candace, yours is too light. Candace's mother, Dorothy, yours is too light. Okay? Naneka, yours is too light. Giselle, yours is like her and caked up and just all kinds of wrong as usual. Anyway, so they were kind of going in on the food and the way it tasted. I personally think that's rude. Somebody invites you to that thing. Just you ain't got to do all that. You ain't got to do all that. That's rude. But okay. And Candace is in there and Candace cannot sing. I'm sorry. I don't doubt that, like, in like the choir or something, she may be able to be in a group with like 5 or 6 other people, like the alto section, and then just get but she is not a soloist, and neither is the other Candy. I don't know. If you want your daughter to have musical abilities, apparently don't name them Candace. Anyway, Candace is meeting up with bitch ass Robin. And this is why I say this colorism shit is bullshit. All these bitches are terrible people. But my thing is, if Candace really believed that, what the fuck is wrong with you, Candace? Why the fuck are you meeting up with Robin? If you really think that they think they're better than you because they're light, fuck these bitches. See, I don't think you think that. And I think all of that has been a little too pronounced on this show. Every time they get into an argument, oh, it's colorism. It's colorism. And while white people got us fighting each other, you see they already rolled back the few little things they gave us in 2020 when the whole country was burning down because they didn't know how to stop killing us. Well, they did know how to stop. They just refused to stop. See, that's what I mean. I don't like that shit. I don't. And I don't like this whole idea that, okay, the way we're going to rework our minds as black people is to start not calling light-skinned girls pretty to prove to dark-skinned girls they're pretty. That shit is so fucking counterproductive. Go read Steve Biko, I Write What I Like, so y'all can learn about even how the South Africans who had distinguishable categories. Over here, it's a little bit easier because you're going to be black. About how he had to change everybody's consciousness around that. Maybe go educate yourself, okay? Anyway, because that's colorism. Why, Candace, are you giving these light-skinned bitches the opportunity to make you feel bad about yourself again, if you really believe that? See, the thing is, Candace is very much in the elite circle. She has never, lied about that. She wanted us to know that. Robin and Giselle may have been born into certain kinds of circles, but I can tell you right now, they some broke motherfuckers. They don't have it the way they grew up with it. For whatever reasons. Probably because Giselle don't like to work. And Robin and them blew the money. Or whatever the hell happened. And you still, because they come from, I guess, maybe a name to some degree, you still feel the need to be around these kind of black people. That's that Jack and Jill shit. Because you know Candace was all up in it. See, it's still about being a part of a certain kind of echelon in their mind of what blackness is. Because none of y'all are anything that black people should aspire to. Anyway, but if you really tell us about colorism, that's like, why? Fuck them hoes. Anyway, why are you kissing their ass? Shouldn't they be doing everything in their power to kiss yours and to fix it? Exactly. So the fact that Robin is acting like the victim and saying, it offended me. Bitch, reality TV is built on insults. Don't nobody give a fuck that your feelings were hurt. The fuck out of here. Just cut it. Cut the bullshit. All right, so she says she's not throwing her husband under the bus for anybody. We know, Robin. We know you will run out in the middle of the highway and get hit by a Greyhound bus on the New Jersey Turnpike at 120 miles per hour. Okay, to save Juan from being thrown under a bus. We get it. Okay? So she had Candace's back. They start showing the flipbacks, but she had Candace's back on the seasons or whatever. But the bottom line is, last season or whatever, but Robin turned on her at the reunion. Because Giselle got her together and put her somewhere in the corner and was like, you have to have my back, you have to have my side. And Robin's weak bitch ass went right along with, can't we agree that it is inappropriate for a married man? And then that's the same exact thing your husband actually had whole ass charges pressed against him for. Doesn't matter that somebody got him off. He works at a state school. People who are involved in athletics, coaches, athletes, they get away with that bullshit all the time. I don't know whether he was innocent or not. I really don't. Because sometimes we can't re-adjudicate the case, but the way it's adjudicated, please, miss me. So Candace she was like, I don't know what happened this conversation for. So Candace walks out mad, and I'm going to tell y'all right now, I don't have to be there, and I know maybe we won't even see the footage, but Candace got back in that car and started crying. She did, and she looks weak, and it's giving, while you're trying to pretend like you look up to your mother and everything else, it's giving my mother didn't accept me, and so my trauma response, my mother not loving me how I am, me begging my mother to be in my life and be somebody else to me, it's the same way you're begging Robin. And just by virtue of being on the show and being anywhere near Giselle, it's giving, I need to prove myself to them so that they'll change themselves for me. Finally. You got to say, fuck these bitches. I need you to go and do some healing work and quit carrying on, Candace, and get yourself together. For real, for real. Okay? Now, if you want to rap for the chocolate girls and really talk about colorism stuff, fuck it. Put on an event where you have black women come around and talk about their experiences with it. If you're going to make it a thing, make it a thing. And what can we do as a community to move forward? See, that would have been a good idea. Hell, that'd be a good idea for Wendy's fake ass show. But nevertheless, this is what we're dealing with. So that's where I am. I'll talk to y'all soon. Be sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and we'll talk later.